these days, people are, if you can put 20,500, which is considered, the maximum contribution, a lot of people, you just don't have that money. So for the Liberian, going back to that example, who's making $40,000 a year, they, they may be putting $5,000 in. So that's when I kind of talk about not being able to. You almost don't have the funds to invest after you get done, paying everything that you have to pay to live over the course of a year to invest in things, whether it's a 401k, much less any other investment vehicles. But I think you said another word in terms of maxing out that 401k, which is almost, I've been doing that for the past couple of years, and that's something that I've been trying to continue to do. Because like you said, if you just do that alone, you're going to be so much better off when it's time 20, 30 years later when you're at retirement. But a lot of people, believe it or not, they're not putting anything close to that maximum contribution. A lot of people are maybe putting a couple $1,000s a year, $5,000, $6,000 a year. If you're lucky, I think you should at least be doing the point where you can get the maximum contribution from your employer, even if it's not your maximum contribution, that being a 20,500. But I don't know. I just thought I'd mention that because
No, you're right. Listen, $20,500 is a lot of money.
but that alone, if you did nothing else and just did that, like the gentleman said, you will have $1,000,000 in this thing.
Yeah.
So I think about that, and I think about the person who is making $40,000 or making $50,000. Like, oh no, just at least get to $70,000, $80,000, because even if that affords you to be able to put the $20,000 away, if you don't do anything else, you're going to be a lot better off when it comes to retirement, as opposed to put in only $2,000, $3,000 in there, and okay, you kind of live this life full of passion. With no, I don't want to continue to pick on the librarians, but you live this life, this fulfilled life, but now you're at retirement. And you're like, man, okay, what do we think rent is going to be in 2040 or 2060? I mean, it could very well be $4,000 or $5,000, not to mention the other stuff with vehicles and food and all that stuff with inflation. So I guess that's something that I think about when I try to take this long term approach. But I apologize for that.
No, that's good stuff. I mean, and you're right. So transferring money from your daily routine to a 401k is quite the chasm, quite the paradigm shift. That being said, one of the easiest things to do is to just set up automatic deductions, because you don't even see it, right? It's not even, in essence, the notion or the visualization of money getting taken out of your account and put into something else is not there, because it's automatically been done. And so one of the things that I would say is, even if you're making $50,000 a year, and every check of yours, after taxes is $500, putting away $20, just automatically deducting $20 into a 401k. I mean, it just adds up in the aggregate. It certainly adds up. And so automatic deductions is one of those things that make investing a lot more palpable, because you're not necessarily taking money out of your account and transferring over somewhere else, because that mechanism, that visualization is a little bit harder to digest. When you had the $20 in your hand right here, you'd be like, hey, I can go out and do this, and dropping it there. That notion of taking that $20 and dropping it somewhere is really, really hard when you get that check for $480 after, and then say, okay, I can do whatever it is that I want with this $480. So the 401k and the automatic deductions is certainly the first step. And I'll tell you another story. So I did the 401k, talking with the Fidelity advisor. And then I talked to my boss, Josiah Dewey, and he said, you should really get a financial advisor and start diversifying your funds. And the rule of thumb is you have 30% of your total assets in cash, and then the remaining 70% should be in investment vehicles. And so I was, my first, second, third year here at Holland and Knight, I certainly had more cash than I needed. And I was talking to my boss about it. And this is after, the automatic deductions. I was talking to my boss about it. And so he said, let me introduce you to my financial advisor, a gentleman over at Raymond James. And so I started talking to this guy. And then he ended up becoming my financial advisor. And a financial advisor is actually a great thing